Hello there. Hi everyone. It's Julia here. I tried doing live a second ago and it cut out, so let's give it another try. So I thought I'd pop on this morning and talk a bit about foundations because I know a lot of people, that is a mystery. There's so many different types, so that's going to be the topic of my tutorial today. So I'm just going to wait a couple minutes while people pop on. If you wouldn't mind just saying hi so I know that you're here. Give me some likes and hearts. And hopefully I won't get cut out. All right, so just a couple more minutes. Facebook does take a little while to sync up the comments with the live, so the first few minutes are a bit on the dull side. So it's Saturday, early afternoon. I've been rearranging my studio to get the lighting just right. I think I've got it. And it's kind of gloomy out, which is actually nice for doing video because you have a very nice soft filtered light, so that's quite nice. So come on and say hi. Amy, look like Amy's joined. Say hi. Hi, Amy. So I'll go ahead and start, and people can pop on if they want. So today's all about foundations because I think everyone is trying to get that perfect finish for their skin type, and they're not quite sure which way to go. There are so many products on the market, it becomes a bit overwhelming. And so I just wanted to do a quick touch base with different types and featuring Younique, because that is a product that I've been using for the past couple years, and I've been very, very happy with it. So you are seeing me in the raw, nothing on my face. I've done my usual morning routine, which is to cleanse and to tone and to put day cream on with SPF, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So nothing else. You're seeing my face in the raw. You'll see that I have quite a bit of rosacea on my cheek, so lots of redness, blood vessels. I've got age spots, all that fun stuff. My skin is pretty healthy because I have been doing a very intense skin treatment, and that has kept my skin pretty nice. My pores are kind of under control, not too big, and super soft. So I could give a tutorial about skincare at another session, but my skin is in pretty good shape, no breakouts or anything like that. So the first thing I do before I put on any foundations is I do a primer. And what this will do is, so this is on top of all your morning routine of day cream and everything. So I put this on before the foundation, and that will help protect all that moisturizer that I put into my skin. So this will keep all the moisture that I put on in, and it will keep that moisture from seeping through my makeup, because when that happens, it tends to kind of feel gooey and saggy. So this kind of helps with doing that. It also helps fill in any fine lines and wrinkles, and it makes your makeup last longer. And that's really a big one for me, because I don't want to have to worry about touching up. So this will make your makeup last longer, and it is a silicone base, and you only need a little bit. It's a silicone base, just like maybe a dime's worth, and you can just put this all over. Just rub it in. I'm going to do it on my eyes too, because I want primer on my eyes so that my makeup on my eyeshadows also have that moisture sealed in, and it will make your eyeshadows last longer and more intense, so you actually use less product. So just get that all on. And I'm going to put the remaining bits in my hair because it kind of helps with, if you have any frizzies, it will kind of help tame those and add a little shine to that. So I've gotten a habit of tidying up my hair with the leftovers. So that's what I've done there. My face is nice and primed. So anything I put on will last all day and have a great finish. So last week I had done a video tutorial and I featured BB cream. And this is one of our foundations. So BB cream is a tinted moisturizer. It is the most moisturizing of the line of foundations, and it provides a light coverage. And it is really enhancing your skin. It's kind of evening out with a light coverage, but it's also giving you really great moisturizer. So if you're someone that doesn't wear makeup or you just like a really light coverage, this is the perfect product for you. So this I showed last week, and this is, it's fairly thick because it is a moisturizer. So it's just kind of reminds me of like the day cream or a night cream. So it is thick, and it goes on nice and smooth, and it will enhance the tonality of your skin. So I'll just kind of do a little patch, and you can apply it with your fingers. Sometimes I like to warm up foundations on your fingers because that makes it kind of glide on smoother. And I'm just going to do a little patch because I'm going to show you different products today. So if I put this on and rub it around, it feels just like a moisturizer. Because of that, it's super light. So you don't feel like you are wearing a heavy foundation. And you can see that with just that application, a very light coverage, the difference between this side and this side. So it's still, it's a light coverage, so it's not about putting it on and trying to cover everything up, but it is adding moisture to my skin and lightly evening out my skin tone. That's why they call this a enhancer. So it's a skin tone enhancer. So that works just great. And you literally don't feel like you're wearing anything on at all. And I use this on my chest too because I also have lots of spots. So that also, instead of using like a regular hand lotion or body lotion, I will use the BB cream. So that's BB cream. Now for people that have a normal to dry, this is great. For people that have very oily skin, I know this is the most moisturizing product that we have. So you might find that this doesn't work with your skin type so well, but you can experiment with that with putting powders and so forth on top. So you can work with finishing powders on top too. This will give a dewy finish, so it doesn't look like a matte. It just looks pretty, it's pretty natural, just like this side, it's just kind of glowing from when I put my moisturizer. So it doesn't have a matte finish, it's just kind of a dewy, healthy, light coverage. Now you can add additional product to this to make it a little bit more heavier coverage. You can combine it, mix it with a little bit of concealer, and that will give you the same feel but with a little bit heavier coverage. And it's also buildable, so if you do one coat and then you let that kind of set, I usually what we'll do is I'll use a blending bud and I'll do one coat and I'll pat it with my blending bud, and then I'll just wait a minute and let that sit. Hi Annabelle, thanks for coming on. We're talking about foundations today. This is our BB cream, and so after your first coat, let it set, and then you could do another coat that will add a little bit more coverage. So you can only go back, and that's usually how I like to think. If I don't need extra coverage all over my face, I will just come back into those areas where I feel like I need that extra coverage. So I usually come back to my cheek area, and you can, play around with this mix of concealer and BB cream to get that right coverage that you're looking for. You might even just want to use the concealer by itself and go for those spotted areas. Like I get a lot of redness around my nose, so the concealer is great for that. It will cover up any kind of age spots that you have. So that's usually my plan of attack when I'm looking for a light coverage, adding a little bit of extra with my concealer to give me a very healthy, light, glowy finish. So that's BB cream, and it's a tinted moisturizer. So let's go on to the next type of product. I'm going to talk about our mineral concealer. And I'm going this one next because it's a great pair too with the BB cream. So a lot of times you might want to finish with a powder just to kind of tone, like if it's feeling a little bit too moisturized and you just want a little bit more to seal it in and kind of finish it. And it will also keep it from moving around as well. So this product is a mineral concealer, and it's also a light coverage. And the finish is a little bit dewy looking too, so that's why it's such a great pair with this. If you like that dewy complexion, this has tiny, tiny flakes or of kind of a shimmer. And it's not like heavy shimmer, but it's not matte, so it just has this kind of glow. And it's comes in powder form, and it's basically pure minerals here. And it you have these little pots, and you see the powder in there. And I usually apply this after my BB cream or some other products that I'll show you in a minute. And I usually just tap a little bit into my lid. And when it comes to powders, a little bit really does go a long way. And I find that I typically will over powder, and then you start seeing the texture. And so if that's happening, and things are starting to look a little bit caked on, and this goes with any product really, not just limited to Younique, but you'll start seeing that kind of cakey look. You're just wearing too much. So it's a little bit does go a long way. So I'll just kind of tap my powder puff brush, a very soft, big brush, and I've already got too much on there, I can see. So, you can tap it off to try and get some off. And then a lot of times I'll just use the back of my hand, because if you just put on lightly, then it does the job. You don't need to have a lot of it. So if you're looking to kind of finish off the BB cream or any other foundation you have, it has a super silky texture and a very light coverage, and it kind of makes that BB cream kind of a dewy look. So if you like light coverage, BB cream paired with the powder concealer works great. So a minute ago I was talking about how you can add your BB cream, make this more heavier coverage by adding our liquid, our skin perfecting concealer. You can do the same with the powder concealer. You can mix it together and get a heavier coverage. So two different ways to use the BB cream with that. We do have another type of powder, and it's a pressed powder. So that's this one here. This is our Touch Mineral. So again, it's a mineral-based product, but it's pressed. So unlike the powdered concealer, it is pressed into a compact. So it comes very convenient to hold with you too. So it comes in a compact with a nice mirror. They give you a sponge, and it has this little plastic top on it that you can open to get to the product. And the difference between our pressed powder and our loose powdered concealer, this has more coverage. So if you are looking for more coverage, then this is something you might want to check out. It also has a full coverage. So this is light coverage, this is full coverage. So depending on how much full or light you like, you can still work with this. And again, use a light touch for light coverage, and just get a little bit on your brush. And I usually like to tap because I feel that makes it go on a little bit more even. And you can keep going, and it's buildable. Just make sure you don't overdo it. You can, if you do want to have heavier coverage, you can use a sponge, and that will give it really, really good coverage. And it will just pretty much cover up. And it doesn't look cakey. And it feels very lightweight. And this will give you a matte finish. So full coverage, matte finish versus light coverage with more of a dewy finish. So that's the difference between those. So this is going to give you that great matte look if you like that. And it will give full coverage. So again, using a brush will give you a lighter touch. So it goes on lighter. But if you wanted more intense coverage, a sponge and kind of pressing that on will help. And then you can kind of even it out in circles. And that has just a wonderful finish to it. I don't even feel like I'm wearing much makeup at all. I don't know if you can tell. So here's a difference between this side with nothing, and on this side I've used the BB cream, and I've come on top with the pressed powder for heavier coverage. So super light. So if you're someone that doesn't like makeup, maybe you just haven't tried the right products. So if you're looking for that light, fresh look, there is something that you could wear and feel confident that you are kind of hiding some of those areas that you are feeling a little bit self-conscious about. I mean, I'm not thrilled with what's going on here. And, you know, this side, you know, that's minimized, but I still see my skin. I still look natural. I don't look like I'm like a plastic Barbie doll. I still got spots that are showing, and that's okay. Once you start putting on your makeup with your eyeshadows and your lipstick, those features will start coming to the foreground, and people won't even notice those little spots. That's just gonna fade kind of in the background, but it's just kind of blended out and less unnoticeable. And so that's how you can get a very light, kind of no makeup look and still feel great about how your skin looks. So that's the difference. Can you see the difference here? There's nothing. And on this side, BB cream finished off with our pressed powder. So what do you guys think? How many people, how many people don't wear foundation at all or no makeup at all? I'm just curious. I know there's not a lot of people on at the moment, but if you do watch this video later, I'd love to hear your thoughts about what you use or not use and why you don't use any foundations. Are you allergic to certain products or whatnot? So our foundations are all hyperallergenic. We don't use any harmful chemicals. There's no parabens, there's no latex, it's sulfate free. So if you're concerned or you have very sensitive skin, our touch line of foundations will work great for you. A couple years ago, before I started using Younique, I had a reaction that kind of came from nowhere, and I learned that over time you become allergic to things at different points in your life. And I heard that after a while of using things over and over that might have chemicals in them, pretty much your body says, you know, enough is enough, and it will start having reactions. And I had my eyelids were like under attack, and they puffed up. Both my eyelids puffed up, and it would take maybe about a month for that to go down. And then as it kind of dried out, I had like all this crustiness and dry on my eyes. And it lasted for about 2 months, and I couldn't wear any makeup whatsoever because of this reaction I was having. So I'm curious, has anyone experienced that with their skin? Because you are having an allergic reaction to something that you're using, and it might not even be what you expect it is. It might not even be a makeup product. It could be hand lotion that you've purchased, and we're always touching our face with our hands, and our hands are in everything. So it might be something like a lotion. Maybe it's a low-end lotion. Maybe it's something you got from a hotel and they don't use natural products, or maybe they use harmful chemicals, or there's something in there that is making you react. So I let that settle, and then a little bit later it happened again, and I was just like, what is going on? So I basically threw everything out, and whatever I threw out, the issue was gone. So after a month later, that problem never returned. I started paying attention to the products I was buying, and using all hyperallergenic creams and lotions and hand lotions. And then I found Younique, and I've been using all of their products, and I have not had an issue since then. So I am very grateful for that. So if you are someone out there that has sensitive skin, this is definitely a line to try. So with that, I will go on to one of our other foundations. This is our, that's the same one, pressed powder. Let's go up here. This is our Touch Mineral Cream Foundation. So, it's the same package as we saw with our pressed powder, and these are kind of a little set, a little duo. So our cream foundation, similar to our BB cream, is a thicker moisturizing foundation. And it comes in this compact, the same as the pressed powder. And it also comes with a sponge and the little plastic protector, and there is your foundation. So this is a cream, so I can rub it with my finger, and it is a cream. But unlike the BB cream, it is not as intense of a cream. So if you have more of an oilier skin, and the BB cream is just too oily for you, but maybe you have more normal skin type, you might really like the cream foundation. So the cream foundation, you can use your finger to put that on there, but I typically use a foundation brush just because I feel like sometimes I don't want a bunch of product on my fingers. So I'll use one of our foundation brushes. Any foundation brush will do. It has, this is natural hair, and it's a little bit on the firm side, but yet soft. So it helps kind of get that on there. And this is also full coverage and less dewy finish than the BB cream, but still, because it is a cream, does have a more dewy finish. So just like what I did with the BB cream on this side, I'm just going to do a small portion. And I like to kind of tap it on and then kind of rub it around. Normally I would have my hair back in a bun, but I just have it down at the moment. And you can just lightly, again, these products are buildable, and because they're mineral based, they're really forgiving, so they don't look caked on. They're still very natural. And if you want heavier coverage, you just let it set for a minute and you do another coat. So even though this is considered full coverage, you can still, you know, get that light touch. I mean, the packaging's great, super great for travel, right? And I always like using my blending buds to kind of finish that off. And when you're using blending buds, you do want to slightly dampen them so that your makeup doesn't completely absorb into the sponge. So you can use a filtered water, so you're not putting those tap water chemicals into your skin. Or you could use our rose water spritz, and that is a toner, and that I'm just going to spray on. And this also is adding vitamins and nutrients back into your skin. So instead of using the tap water with all the ickies, I'm going to choose to put vitamins. Rose water is amazing because it helps with inflammation. So if you have puffiness, that will help that. It's great for sunburns, and it just feels nice and cooling and refreshing. So I like to tap the foundation around. So you see it's pretty good coverage. And again, I just did a really light coverage of that. If I wanted to wait a second, I can come back and do another pass at the foundation. And again, I usually like to just go back in those areas that require a little bit more heavier coverage that I'm a little bit self-conscious about. So like I have this spot right here, under the nose usually. And I'm just doing, again, just a patch because I'm going to do another foundation for you. So this is our cream foundation. It is a full coverage, but you can apply it in steps to build up to whatever type of coverage you like. And you can always go back with concealer, because that is our fullest coverage, is pure light concealer. So you can go back with concealer and tidy up. I have a little bit of concealer on my my pan here, and I usually just take my finger and then just come in and tap around those areas that I need extra coverage. So that is our Touch Cream Foundation. Comes in a compact. And this will give you full coverage, still dewy finish, not as heavy as a moisturizer as the BB cream. And I usually like to top this off with a finishing powder, but you don't have to. If you're happy with that finish and you don't feel like you need anything more, then that is fine. You can go out with this. And if you did want to finish it with a finishing powder, again, we have the mineral concealer, the loose powder, and that will give you light coverage with a little bit of glisten to it, so it still will give you that dewy finish but set the foundation. And then the other option is our pressed powder. So these are a set. You can get a cream and a pressed powder, and that will give you a matte finish if you like that, with medium to full coverage and how much you put on there. So you can actually buy these as a set, and when you do that, you get a little bit of a discount because it's kind of like a set. So they give you that. I think it's like $4 or $5 off when you get two together. So same with our BB creams. We have a set, a bundle that if you get 2 of these, and the set includes a blending buds, and I think you get like $20 off when you get that kind of bundle. So typically I'll do, I always use BB cream, and I highlight underneath my eyes, and I use a lighter shade of BB cream. So that's usually what I'll do, is I'll get one that is my skin tone, and then I'll get the lighter one for highlighting, and then I get the blending buds, and it's a great deal. So if you like BB cream, that's something you can try out as that bundle, and you get these guys. So that is the BB cream on this side. And this, I guess I didn't finish that one off, the powder, so let me show you what that looks like. So this is without the powder. It still has a dewy finish. And then I'm going to lightly, with the pressed powder, come back. And I just pat. I don't like press very hard. I just pat it around. And that gives, I think, the most natural look to it. And again, just a little bit. If you start seeing it caking up, it's because you've used too much product. You just really need a little bit. And it's buildable, so you can always come back, so really watch that. Especially if you're older, you know, I'm almost 50, so I noticed that powders tend to almost emphasize my fine lines and wrinkles because it's kind of taking out the moisture on the surface, which is why it's nice to set your cream foundations, because it's kind of drying it out a little bit more, so it has a nice smooth finish. It doesn't feel tacky from the cream. So it's dry, it kind of dries out your skin a little bit, and it will end up emphasizing. So I actually like to highlight with the BB cream, and I have again my little palette, the lighter BB cream, and I'll just use my finger for this, and I'll put that underneath my eye, and I'll kind of pull it down. So I swiped it under, and I'm pulling it down, and it's kind of making this triangle shape. So this is giving me a little bit more coverage that I might need for under my eyes for any kind of dark circles. I can mix this with our mineral liquid concealer or the powder concealer to get heavier coverage if I want to. But for me, with the older skin, I need that extra moisture, and powder under my eyes tends to be too drying. So I really love coming back with BB cream under my eyes. It's giving me that moisture back, and I just tap it with my blending bud, and that will blend it out really nicely. And because I've used a lighter color, it's going to brighten up my eyes and add emphasis to my eye area. Do you see the difference between these two sides? This one has the BB cream, the lighter color underneath the eyes, and now this whole area is popping. And this area is much, well, also my light is a little bit stronger on this side, but this is how you can highlight under your eyes. And I can do a whole separate tutorial on how to contour your face and highlight and deepen and sculpt and all that. But this is all about foundations today. So that is our cream foundation finished with our pressed powder and some BB cream under the eye to highlight. So still very natural looking. This is not a caked on foundation. It's light. It feels great. It's just feels like normal skin. And I would feel very confident walking out the door. All that rosacea that I have on my cheeks is pretty much not even noticeable. And once I add my bronzer and my blush, and I got my eyes done, it will just look flawless. So this is 2 products, totally flawless finish, BB cream on this side, cream foundation on this side. And what's next is liquid foundation. This is our liquid foundation. This is amazing. So this too is part of our mineral touch, and so it's also mineral based, and it is a liquid, and this product will go on like a liquid, but it buffs to a powder matte finish. So very different from the other products that I've showed you. If you love matte finish, this is the product for you. If you have oilier skin or normal to oily skin, this is the product for you because it is a little bit more dry than the other two products that I showed you. I'm in the sweet spot. I'm a kind of normal, so I can wear everything in different combinations. So a lot of times it's just about finding the right balance between your foundations and your powders and how much and actually how you apply them too can make a difference. So I definitely want to experiment before you give up on something because it could just be how you applied it or the combination of products that you used. So you do want to shake this up really good because it naturally separates the ingredients in here. So when it sits for a while, you'll see it separate, and that's normal because the ingredients that create this this finish, this liquid to powder, does separate. You shake it really good. It comes with a dropper, so you want to make sure that you squeeze the dropper and then shake because the product that's in the tube will separate in there. So you want to make sure you expel the product, give it a good shake, and then it's ready to go. But what I need to do first is have some fresh skin to show you the difference. And I'm going to use our Shine Wipes. This is a makeup remover and a nutrient cloth. So there is no alcohol in this. So this, you get, I think 36 cloths in here. And it's packed with jojoba and rosemary oil, lots of vitamin E. So, you know, no harmful chemicals in here. So not only is it removing your makeup, but it's also giving back your skin nutrients that you may have lost during the day, especially like vitamin E will help your skin kind of come back to its natural plumpiness. So this is the sheets here. And I usually fold it in quarters. But I'm just going to remove this so I can show you. It smells very good too. So I can show you our liquid foundation. So look at this side now. I had BB cream on it. Or back to my raw face. All that rosacea that I had. All the blood vessels, all the spots. There they are again. Under that light natural foundation. Okay, so you'll let that dry for a second. And I should probably put on more primer before the liquid foundation application. And you do want to try and let your primer set for a few minutes to dry, because it is like a silicone-based material, so it does. You'll get a better result if you let it kind of rest and set. And again, you can use the rest of the product to defrizz your hair, give it a nice shine. So I'm just going to pretend a few minutes have gone by. You know, usually in the morning, you know, I in between trying to let things set and so forth, I'm checking my email, I'm getting another cup of coffee. There's always little things you can do in between the steps. So here we are. This side, no product, no foundation, my natural skin. This side, I use the cream foundation, and I finish it off with the powder, pressed powder. It has a nice matte finish. And now we're ready to try the Touch liquid foundation. Again, it's our mineral-based line of products called Touch. And again, I'm shaking this up really well. And it has this eyedropper. And depending on the color that you get, the viscosity will be different. So darker shades will have more pigment to get more color, so it may be thicker. The lighter ones will have less color added, so it will appear thinner. So this is the viscosity. This is my color. I have pink undertones, normal to pink undertones. So I'm using chiffon, which is kind of a medium tone, but for pink undertones. And that's what I also used on the other products that I showed you, is chiffon. And so this is a medium color. There's another shade lighter and a few shades darker for this. So I am going to show you our liquid foundation brush. So this is different than the other foundation brush that I showed you that I used on the cream foundation. And it was specifically designed to use with the liquid foundation. So some people still like to use their fingers. I find if I use my fingers on the liquid foundation that it will come on too much and it won't buff out to that powder finish that this product can do. So I don't feel like using your fingers is going to really showcase this product. So if you've tried this and you're using your fingers and you haven't liked it, it could very well be the application style. So please keep that in mind, that application, how you put it on, can dramatically affect whether that product is working for you. So this product, this brush is soft. This is a natural fiber. It has a little bit of a hole in the middle that you drop the foundation into. So I know some people like to apply the foundation first to the finger to warm it up and then dot it on their face so it has so it kind of warms up to your skin tone or to your skin temperature. So that works too, and then you can follow up with the brush, but I just go ahead and drop it on. And again, all of our products are buildable. I'm just putting a few drops. I always like to start off on the light side and then, you know, add more if I need it after. So you can always add, but it's harder to remove. If you have added too much foundation, you can take a little bit of your primer and rub that on your fingers and kind of blend that out, and that will help. And I need a little bit of water. Okay, so we're about to look at our Touch Liquid Foundation that I've used a couple drops on our liquid foundation brush. I just used a few drops because I'm just going to show you a patch of my skin and I don't want to overdo it. So the first thing I do is I just come around and I dot the product just to kind of evenly spread it around. I'm not rubbing, I'm just getting little drops of product on my skin. And I'm going to I just wait, you know, like 30 seconds or so, and that will also bring the temperature of the product equal to the temperature on the surface of my skin, so that when I start to blend this in, it's a little bit more of a smooth experience. So you definitely want a light touch, and I find that when you hold your brush really close to the fibers to the hairs, you have a tendency to press harder. But the more you pull back on your brush, the lighter the touch you have, and you do want to use a light touch. And you basically are going to buff it, and that buffing is what's going to create this beautiful powder finish in a matte. So I'm just going to lightly come in in circles. Very light touch. under the nose, swipe it. I love this brush because it's angled, so I can really swipe it right in the inner corner of my eye and underneath. I do also use foundations on my eyelids, so I would normally have done that as well, light. And again, I've just put on the lightest amount of foundation. This is our Liquid Touch foundation. So the lightest touch there, and I know this side of the lighting is a little bit hotter and brighter, so so it's a little bit misleading. But this side that has our cream foundation is a little bit more dewy, a little bit more glistening. And this side, can you tell that this side has a matte finish to it? I'm going to come back with another layer of foundation, just maybe a couple more drops. And again, just focusing on the areas that I might be more self-conscious about, that I want it to be built up with a little bit heavier coverage. And then again, come back and buff. So this very unique foundation, it starts off as a liquid and buffs to a beautiful matte powder finish. If you need more coverage, or you need to spot for don't forget to go to your neck, or if you need to spot areas that are standing out, you do want to follow up with a little bit of our skin perfecting concealer and just like get those little spots and blend that in. Some people like to follow up, just like I did with the cream, with the blending buds to also kind of give that natural look. Sometimes brushes can look like it's streaked, but this one I don't feel like it does it. Plus the finish is powder and you're going in these circles. But you could come back and tap, especially if you're adding a little bit more concealer. You're going to want to kind of tap it because that will really blend it out really natural. Because of the texture of the sponge, it makes the texture of your skin look like skin and not anything else. So you can tap it out. If you have very, very dry skin, this probably isn't the product for you. However, these products are so flexible. One thing I do like sometimes, I'll wear this product in the summertime because that's when it's like really hot and I feel like I need a more dry finish. But if I'm feeling like it's a little bit too dry, I go back to my Wonder product, which is our Rose Water Toning Spritz, and I'll just lightly spray a little bit on there, and that's going to give just a little bit more moisture back. So if it's feeling a little bit too dry for your skin type, but you love the finish, you love the application, you can just spray on a little tiny spritz of this, and it's just adding that moisture right back into your face. And then you get that perfect balance. So you really just need to start getting familiar with what your skin likes and balancing it out with the products that match to your skin type. And that does take some experimentation, and I'm here to help too. So I can help consult with you on which products are going to be right for your skin tone. And then it's a personal preference. Do you like it to have a dewy finish? Do you like to have it a matte finish? So that's where I can consult and also help you color match, because that is a little bit of a mystery for people too, as far as what colors to wear. Oh, my mom just joined. Hi, Mom. She's got a few of our products too. She's tried almost all of them by now. So this is our Touch Liquid Foundation on the left, and this is our cream foundation on the right, or my right at least, your left, my right. So there we go. So we took a look, as a little recap, we took a look at a few different foundation products. We looked at the BB cream, light moisturizer. So it's a tinted moisturizer, very light coverage, and has a great light feel. We then took a look at our mineral concealer, which is a powder to set our BB cream, or you could use this really with all of our foundations to set, as well as our pressed powder foundation. You can use this on any of our products too, and that gives you a fuller coverage and a matte finish. And then we took a look at our cream foundation, which is not as moisturizing as the BB cream, so it's lighter feel than the BB cream, fuller coverage, great travel compact. And again, you could also follow up with this, with the mineral concealer or the pressed powder. And then for our last product we tried was the Touch Liquid Foundation, and that has a medium to full coverage, and it starts as a liquid and blends out, buffs out to a beautiful powder matte finish. And those are our foundations. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in on any of these, you have questions, please message me, and I can help pick the right products for you and your skin tone, as well as advise you on the combinations based on your skin type. And there's no risk because we have the greatest guarantee ever. If you are not happy within 14 days, you can return it, no questions asked, money back. So you really have no risk on trying something new. I know it's a little bit scary because people, don't really have faith. You see something on, Facebook Live, you don't know. So I'm going to tell you that this stuff works great, and hopefully you believe me because I'm not going to show you something that I don't wear, and I wear this every day. All of our products, our foundations, I wear. I have been wearing them for the last 2 years, and they do work great. And if you're not happy, you get your money back. So message me, and I hope you guys have a great day, and stay tuned for more tutorials. Thank you very much. Bye.